Tell him I got the juice.
Dr. Buss, I'm curious if you are aware of your effect on the dating and seduction communities right now. In the beginning of your book, When Men Behave Badly, you do make reference to incels and I believe the manosphere. Is that correct? I think you do that in the first couple chapters.
Yes.
I don't know. So I listen, Dr. Buss, you're the theoretical physicist and I'm the experimental physicist. I'm out here in these streets, right? And so I see how these things are perceived in real life. I live in Las Vegas. I correspond every once in a while with Satoshi Kanazawa, who's one of Dr. Gadsad's friends, and he wrote the book Why Beautiful People Have More Daughters. And I used to tell him all the time, I was like, the ultimate evolutionary psychology experiment is Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the blondest girls with the skinniest waist and the guys with the Lamborghinis spending the most money, betting the highest amount at the poker tables. Like this is the ultimate like show of display of status is Las Vegas, Nevada, with the bottle service and the $100,000 minimums and all that kind of stuff. So one of the things I think is interesting is that the way you mentioned before, there are people in evolutionary psychology you wish you would get out, and I'm curious, are these the people that you're talking about, like the MGTOW, incel, red pill community? Is that what you're referring to?
Oh no, not really. And I confess I have not tracked these communities carefully, and so I don't consider myself an expert
Right.
at all on them. I do think that that understanding these communities, for example, the rage of incels and the anger they experience, goes back a long way. You can quote, I don't know how many in the younger generation knows this band called The Doors.
Yeah,
this guy named Jim
of course
Morrison.
we know about The Doors.
But Jim Morrison had this lyric in, I think it was off the Strange Days album, where he said that women seem wicked when you're unwanted.
Yes.
And that kind of captures this notion that men who are spurned by women, ignored by women, shunned by women, shot down by women, sometimes develop an anger toward women.
Okay. So men who are shot down, turned down, put down by women, what happens? Anger. And you start making them out to be what? This big enemy. And again, man, I want to be able to share this too, man, because I definitely don't want this to come off as like trying to be overcorrective or even trying to bog down on men. Man, listen, I actually have experienced moments in my life where when I was ghosted, when I felt like a female did me wrong and did me dirty, um, a lot of those thoughts easily crept in. Like I was like, bro, I don't need this. Like I'm tired of opening myself up and being honest and being genuine, and loving and caring, and then just for her to just treat me like this. Like, what did I do to deserve this? I didn't do anything. I was nothing but kind, and then she just did that, right? And maybe it's not even in necessarily that formality. Maybe you've just been rejected by a lot of women. Listen, that stuff, man, is real. And I can definitely put my feet in some of you guys' shoes in terms of like your responses and how you're going about it, right? And a lot of it comes from a place of not wanting that to happen again. Anytime that you're hurt, burned, or scorched by something like that, you definitely don't want to experience that again. So a lot of times what we do is we over course correct, right? We want to make sure, we want to double down that don't ever happen again. And I think in the process of that, what I'm hoping you guys see and catch in the content I put out and the things that I upload on this channel is that this over course correcting is actually doing us more harm than good, because we end up painting everybody out to be this big monster and this big problem. And we end up going into a place where we start generalizing everybody, and we start not taking accountability for where we are and what we can do to change it without having to lose who we are in the process. I'm gonna be honest, man. I do think that there are a lot of people in this red pill manosphere community that, man, can actually be some kind guys, man. Like, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that there's some actual kind, loving guys that are in this community. What's so loud is the pain that you're feeling. And because that's what's so loud, it can get difficult to really kind of turn that around, or even approach it or address it, because there's just so much pain there that you're just like, bro, I'm not going back to feel that um at all. And so we kind of lose some of the purposes and those kinds of things. And I just think that there's just so much more to life, man. There's so much more to life when we zoom out of things, when we really try to get the right perspective on certain situations, man. um the anger that's influencing us to make those decisions, and to really move in a direction of generalizing all women and tearing down women and all those kinds of things. I think it just points to a little bit of a loss of value. You know what I mean? Like, we felt like we put our value into that woman's hands, and she did nothing but crush it. And I think that's where a lot of our problem initially is. We put our value in that woman's hands and it was never supposed to be there. You know what I mean? And I think when we're able to peel it back a little bit, and really just get to the root of trying to deal with that first heartbreak, that first wound, that first rejection, I think we'll learn a lot about ourselves that actually will help us progress forward and not just sit here and make everything out to be a you versus them, or begin identifying with our wounds from those experiences. From, if we're being honest, like, even though she might have been really important to you, it was one female or maybe it was a few females on different occasions compared to like the millions and so many more people, right, that are in this life. And so that anger does drive a lot, and it's definitely a root, and I think it's something that's worth understanding instead of making it an emphasis to over course correct. And by over course correcting, we're actually dunking on you. We're trying to shove statistics down your face, and we're trying to, right, kind of like, I don't even know, just be really aggressive towards it. And I think there's room enough to get an understanding on where a lot of these guys are coming from, and better than just, hey, I want to acclimate to the times. I want to actually get an understanding on this pain and frustration that I'm feeling, because that's actually where the growth kind of really begins in a lot of ways. This clip is from one of my recent YouTube live streams. You can come over and check out when we go live, typically once a week. Find your boy, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you don't miss when we're going live and all that we've got going on over on this channel. All right, peace.